Hi everyone, welcome to my channel Be You. So for the past 2 nights, I have been having the same dream about rune stones. Okay, um, rune stones is something that came from the Viking time. It is just another way. It's just like tarot or oracle cards, but they have been around before tarot or oracle cards ever were created. What the Vikings used to do is they used to take runes. It's kind of like our alphabet, minus there's some letters that we have that they do not have. And they would put them on rocks, on any type of basically anything in their house to absorb that energy from that rune into their daily day to day. So I was very strong. I've had a rune collection for many years that I never picked up. And then all of a sudden, I went out with lunch with my friend Lisa, and she started talking about them and asked if I had them. And I said, yeah. And they've been coming to mind, but I haven't never really got into them. So my journey there is literally about 2 weeks ago. Yeah, about 2 weeks ago. I went ahead and I pulled them out because they kept coming to my mind. So when I went and I pulled them out, I instantly knew what the symbols meant before me having to look them up. So right there, I basically knew that I have done this in a past life. And it was something that was very easy for me to remember. So then I always collect rocks anywhere I go, basically, and I have a decent collection of rocks. I was very guided to start making putting runes into the rocks, and I did that prior to my flea market experience this past Sunday. And while doing that, I had a lot of people interested in them and picking them up and wanting to know more. So the past 2 nights, I've had a dream about these rune rocks that um, I need to make a video about it. So here's the video. That way, I don't keep waking up to do this. Um, so again, what I'm showing you is the power of the runes, okay, in these rocks. When I was sitting at the table, I chose permanent marker on this batch that I created. And I got a feel of the colors I really liked versus the colors that didn't look too good with the rock. With that being said, as I was sitting in my dining room and just literally marking these with the intention that the power of this goes in to each one of these rocks that I'm about ready to show you. Okay. So, as I was using the marker, I went back into the past life that I had. I was a gentleman. I was kind of like in the old blacksmith type thing back in that time. It was like I had it, and it wasn't just rocks that I had, but in my hand it was a rock, and I carved it first, the symbol, and then I used what we would call ink, but it wasn't what we use today, to slowly pour. And I thought that was amazing. As I said, and was doing this, I instantly reconnected with one of my past lives. Very, very cool. Um, there is a lot of energy with this. So I will show you, right? If you can pick up energy, this will be great for you. If you can't, that's perfectly okay. But this is what I was doing Sunday to some people. So, see this? This is just a plain rock. No rune symbol at all on this rock. Does it have energy? Yes, because everything has energy. Okay? So that's just plain. So if you can pick up the energy of this rock, what's really neat is now I'm showing you with a symbol. And if you can feel the difference, if you can pick up energy, you can totally pick up the difference of energy. And every one of these have a different vibration. This one is about marriage. So if you're wanting to get married, if you have a partnership that you need more guidance or help with, and it doesn't have to necessarily be a marriage. It could be any partnership of any kind. It doesn't have to be romantic. Then this would help you by you. I actually wrote some symbols and they're out in front on our deck on both sides of our deck by our door. So you would take this and you would put this anywhere that you feel guided in your house to do. And it's really because some of these are really small so that you can carry them. I actually put rune symbols on my moon water for prosperity and for prosperity and journey. Yeah. So that's what I did. And it makes a big difference. Okay. So here's the next symbol. And these are things that, yes, they are for sale. I am selling these $10 a piece, unless they're the small ones. And then the small ones would be like $2. And then if you wanted to get a bunch of small ones, you could. This means luck. So if you're down on your luck, if you're having a hard time right now, and you are feeling like you just need inspiration, this stone here, this rock, this rune stone can help you. All right. If you are pulled to this one, this is strength. If you're feeling weak or if you're feeling like you just don't have enough to keep going, this can give you that energy, that vibration that you need. And it's literally as simple as I can feel this just by holding this in my hand. And I got Chelsea to test out some of these without her not knowing any what they meant and see which one she was guided to and if she could feel the difference. All right, how about this one? Now this rock's really cool because of that, if you can see that. There it goes. This is journey. It'll help you on your journey. Like I said, I put this on our moon water bottles. I also put this on the rock outside because I'm all about journey that's coming. Now, this could also be like traveling a journey to a foreign country, traveling to a different state. This can help you with your journeys. So again, that's why these rocks that I chose the small ones to do this so that you can carry it around and that you can get the benefit. Or if you're having, fear come up, that's instantly, let's say you're traveling somewhere and you get really scared that you might get lost, you don't know what to do. This would be when you want to come in and just hold on to this and take a few deep breaths, and then it will help you go back to being centered. Are you attracted to this one? This one is wisdom. What is this one good for? Let's say, this is a really cool rock too. Let's say that you want to link into a past life. And I wish I could tell you which one I was working on when I instantly went back in my past life. It would be cool if I could remember if it was this one that I was writing as my past life when I actually was one of these rune writers. If it was this one, but I cannot tell you that because I do not remember, but it was a very cool experience. A very good past life that I had back there. But yeah, so let's say that you're wanting knowledge. Holding this, keeping this with you, and putting in your intent of what knowledge are you wanting to gain on what subject, this rune can help you. This one's a little bit hard probably for you guys to see on the camera. But it should look like a up arrow pointing up. If you are attracted to this one, it's victory. Now, what does that mean? That means, what are you hoping to get from the subject that's causing you the most pain? That victory is around the corner. If you're having any financial or medical problems, this is very good to help. Now, I linked in to create these, where therefore my intention was to put the power of these symbols in these rocks. You will just add your attention to it. Let's say you're fighting cancer, right? Even though really fighting cancer, it's not really a fight. If you would connect with cancer and ask, why is that coming up in your body? The cancer will communicate with you. Using this, the Vikings would have these symbols on all their war gear as they would go into battle for victory. So, what is your inner battle? Because that's how you would look at it. It's an inner battle that you're ready to win, to move past. This one is one of my favorites. I write this so well. It's like I've been doing it for centuries. It is, if you're very drawn to it, future. Which is funny because one of my biggest things on future is always being more fearful of future. But holding this, I get more of a calm and peace of like, the future is already written. It will be whatever it's meant to be. But yeah, I think that was actually the very first one I created last week. Let's see if you guys can see this one. Yeah, you can. All right. If you're attracted to this one, friendship. If, let's say, you feel very alone, this would be a really good one to hold. And it's really tiny. It's like one of my smallest little rocks here. This would be one really good one to hold. If you feel very isolated and that you have no friends, this is the rock for you. It will give you that peace of mind, the calmness of that you're not alone and you're never alone. And maybe it can even help you get that good feeling that you can make friends easily. This looks like just a line. So if you're attracted to this, stand still. What does that mean? It literally means just stand, stop. Do not move forward, do not move backwards. Just stand still. whatever is coming, whatever you're involved with that you're wanting guidance on, the guidance on is saying stand still if this really attracted to you. That there's probably another way, another option, because there's multiple options, multiple opportunities on everything. Limited possibilities or limitless possibilities. Let's just call it infinity possibilities. This one I didn't actually think was coming back with me. This guy was really, he kept picking this one up. He loved the rock itself. And when I told him what the symbol mean, he smiled at me. I had a lot of people smiling at me. This one, destiny. What is your destiny? Are you questioning your destiny? Are you wanting to know more on what is your purpose? What is it that you're supposed to achieve in this lifetime? So, destiny. Okay, next one. If you're attracted to this one, wealth. Now, of course, in the Viking time, this symbol, they put on a lot of items. But here's the kicker with wealth. If you put a symbol of wealth onto, let's say, your bank account or something like that, that is not accumulating wealth. That is basically just it staying in one area. So you want to look at this symbol, this wealth, as that abundance of money is coming, abundance of wealth is coming. And it doesn't necessarily always mean money around wealth. There are so many things that falls under wealth. Back in the Vikings, they actually used this for their cows to produce milk. See, wealth. That's what they needed. So that's what they used it for. But yeah, so this is one of my very cool rocks, by the way, that I put on this. But let's say, what could you use this for? Well, I mean, it's as simple as you could keep it in your house. Yes. It's a little bit more on the heavier side, so you could carry it if you wanted to. But you know what's coming to mind as I'm channeling my past life gentleman here is whatever is your currency, which to us is US dollars, put it on your money. Now, that does not mean put the symbol on the money, put this rock on the money. So, take money out of your bank and just put this on it and keep it there and see what happens. Okay, next. Okay, this is a silver marker here. It's really, I wish you could really see how it really looks in real person. But you can if you want to come Sunday to the flea market. These will be there. They are for sale. Now, this one I put on my dragon rock. I don't know if you guys can see that dragon, but his head is right there and his wings are here and here. Yeah, this is my dragon rock. So if this one's calling you, trust is what this one's all about. So how can you use this rock here for trust? Well, it really depends on who are you not trusting or what are you not trusting. Is it a person or is it a thing? So let's say that this is a person you do not trust. So when you hold this rock you can instantly bring up that person's name, and then the rune will help you to decide to trust that person or not. Again, these were used eventually to tell futures. Now, what these are used for is literally like tarot, where you can literally go and pull rocks, runes, whatever the rune's on, and it can help that person by it gives us what's going on in your life. But trust. You can even go deeper as, let's say, you don't trust money. How about that? You don't trust there being enough money, right? So, same thing with wealth. You can literally take a $20 bill and just put the rock on it and allow the dragon, earth dragon, and the rune to help. All right. This is a really good one. Ready? Here's this one. Do you see it? This one, if you're attracted to, I put it on one of my another really nice rock that I liked, because of the power this is. Healing. Healing. So me personally, when I wrote this, I instantly held this to my hand and I put it onto the heart. And as I'm doing it right now, it's the same feeling as when I was holding my crystal skull yesterday on the video at the very end of that. And the amount of love is the same energy that I'm feeling. So then you can also healing, let's say you have headaches. You have these migraine headaches that you've always had. It's so simple. It's just putting this on your third eye. And it's really cool because it's a rock, so it stays fairly cool. And it instantly, right now, I'm feeling very loopy putting it on my third eye. But yeah, if you're having migraines, I can tell you right now, it's because you're ascending and your knowledge is opening up and you're very afraid, so you're trying to close it. And you once it's there, you can't don't run away from it. Um, and once you accept who you truly are, the headaches will go away. But this one, yes, is extremely powerful. You can literally put it on any part of your foot. Like if you're having, I meant body, but I said foot, so I'm going to go with that. All right, so you could put it on any part of your body. So foot came up. So you could take this and just put it on your aching foot just for a few minutes. I mean, it's instant. I literally put this to my heart, instant. Now, it doesn't matter if you have the symbol showing or not showing. That's totally up to you. The symbol isn't just on one side of this rock, it's on all of it. It's the whole rock. All of these go for that. All right. Now, two of these look pretty close. Let me make sure I have the right one here, because two of these look identical. A couple of these look identical. Oh, I didn't grab that one. Okay. All right. So, do you see this one? If you're attracted to this symbol, this rune, safety. Safety. So, how can you use safety, this symbol, this stone here, to help you? Well, very first question I would ask is, what are you not feeling safe about? Is it a theme? Because money seems to keep coming up. So I would definitely seem like there's a theme of money here. So safety. What truly are you not feeling safe about? And let's just say that it is money, because clearly that's what totally was coming down to me. Money, not feeling safe with money, not feeling that you can go anywhere, not feeling like you can buy what you want to buy. You feel stuck. You feel unsafe, unsure, all that. So there's different options that you could do for this. One, the unsafe literally comes from the mind. So again, putting this on the third eye instantly puts it into the mind that you are safe. If you have a house that seems to be falling apart, this would be really good to put outside your doors or in the basement to keep the house safe. If you do not live in a great neighborhood, you say, and you don't feel your car safe, putting this in your car will help the car keep safe. Now, remember, everybody's on their own path. There are what we call challenges that you will have to overcome in this lifetime. It does not mean let's go get a bunch of runes or tarot cards and therefore nothing will ever go bad, because, well, we say go bad, but it isn't, because it's helping us grow. As I got into my healing, it's not like I live a perfect life. It's not like everything's gifted to me, but I can tell you this. I'm more grateful and way more happier today than I was 5 years ago, 6 years ago. So, yes, it totally changed the view of how I see this world. Absolutely. The world did not change. I changed. And therefore, the view of everything changed. But we're constantly growing. Um, and I had a huge upset that happened a couple of days ago. To be perfectly honest, it was a repeat pattern that was coming up for me, so I could finally release. Because when you're on a spiritual journey, when you're on a healing journey, then the stuff will come back up, because then the body's saying, let's get rid of it, let's get it out. So mine was authority, right? So let me just share this little quick story with you. I do not stand up for myself when the person happens to be older than me by like 10 years. Anything that's 10 years or older, I would not stand up for myself. I would just be like, okay, I guess they're right, I'm wrong, whatever. I wouldn't do it. So it started at work. And I don't like to do errors or make errors or anything like that. So when I was at work, I received the most errors I've ever received. So that already got me in a tizzy, which honestly, if it was something I was fully healed from, yeah, I would not have got so upset. But then as I was looking at them, I realized that those were not my errors. I had to stand up for myself and say, no, I'm not going to accept that. And I did. And I felt so much better. And then I wrote it down. That's funny. Something popped over here. I wrote it down in a journal, and then I actually burned it in my fire that me and Chelsea had going that day. So I had to go back in because I wanted to know, where's this coming from? This has been coming up for many years. Why? Where's this authority that I cannot, especially if it's a female? It was bigger if you were a female, that I could not stand up for myself and tell you how I felt or anything like that. So when I close my eyes, because it's always our inner kids are the ones that have the fears. So the inner child, I instantly like, where's this coming from? And instantly I went back to an image I did not even remember. I was 5 years old. And on that, my mom, I was putting my shoes away, but I didn't put them correctly away. She was very neat and organized, and I just kind of tossed them, and she literally yelled at me. And it was like the very first time that I remember being yelled at, apparently, by my mom. So every time something like I would think I would get yelled at, I would react in this way of like really intense, and my body was not feeling very good as I was going through this. And it came up multiple days because it was things I had to stand up for myself. It was time. And every day I stood up for myself. So therefore, I got to the point where I was like, okay, I get it. Like, because I, instead of going, why is this happening to me? I literally sat there and said, why is this happening for me? And that is why. So I could release a belief that I had that my inner child was bringing up fear around. So, safety. And of course, I told my inner child that she is safe and that she is allowed to stand up for herself and what she believes, because we all have different beliefs. No one's right, no one's wrong. It's just literally everyone just realizing that we're all connected in one way or another. All right, next one. So if you're attracted to this one, love. Love. This one was picked up so many different times at the flea market. And they, every time I told them what it stood for, they just smiled. One lady said, well, that makes sense. So what does this mean? Love. What does this rune do for you? What's the power behind it? Well, as I'm holding it, I instantly feel the love coming from this rune. Back in the Vikings, they would put it on their families' things. And normally it would be more like clothes. Now, I have started putting symbols pretty much all over certain things. And yeah, the power these hold are very, very cool. But back to love. I made this very medium rock. I mean, again, the rock chooses it. The marker chooses it. Everything chooses it. I'm just the vessel that it all comes together in. That's it. But let's say you're not feeling loved, right? This would be a really good one for you. Because it gives you that peace of mind that you are loved. Even if you're alone right now, does not mean that you're not loved. You are always loved. You are loved by deceased loved ones. Even if you had a bad relationship with that one, it doesn't matter. When they pass over, it's not the same. They love you unconditionally because they're no longer in a human body where we condition so much in the human body. And it's okay because we're supposed to. It's what's fun about being human. But this is just a reminder that you are loved. You don't have to be in a relationship to feel love. You can have love from friends, love from family. And let's say if you're in, where you're not feeling like you've ever been loved by family, they do. They do in their way. It just never matches your way. So, let's just go with basic, most people when they think of love, they always think of a romantic relationship, right? I mean, it's human 90% of the time. If someone's coming to me with tarot cards, questions about love and whatnot, they're wanting to know, okay, well, when am I going to find love? What would this rune here do? What would this do if I held on to it? So you would put your intentions of finding love. Be very specific here. Do you want to find a soulmate? Do you want to find a twin flame? Do you want to find it romantic? Because there are twin flames and soulmates that are not romantic. So when you're using love, you have to be very, very specific to get the results that you're wanting. So I would hold this and say, I want someone that's part of my tribe to come forth. Now, I know what tribe means to me. You probably don't know what tribe means to me. So I belong in a tribe. I strongly believe that everybody belongs in a tribe that has even numbers of actual human essences, human beings, and each human essence has a soul. And then a twin flame is an identical soul. So, therefore, let's say this person over here is the same soul as this person. They will meet in this lifetime because they're supposed to. In time, they will realize they are the identical same soul. Now, does that mean that they live happier ever after? No. No, that's fairy tales. What that means is that they have a very strong bond, very strong pull to one another. However, they both have essences, which is their human name, and they both have free will. So, are they always going to be lovey dovey? No. Is all relationships going to be lovey dovey? No. No, we would be bored if it was. That's why we like going through things. It amplifies who you truly are. You're becoming more and more with oneness, with your soul self. So in a tribe, I have 6 people in my tribe. All right. I've met one person that's in my tribe. So now there's 2 of us, but we both know that there is a total of 6 in our tribe, which means 6 human beings, 3 souls that are in our tribe. That's it. That is how this works. And it's really neat because we're actually making a grid about tribe members and how to connect with them. So I'm excited about that. Anyways, back to the love. If you are wanting your twin flame, one of them, if you're wanting it to be a a romantic, then you would put that out there with this. You would sit there and hold this and go, I want a romantic twin flame, and keep saying it. And it's funny, as I said that, like this was cold, but now as I said those words, it's warm. So yeah, like I said, I probably need to do a workshop with this so people can play around with these. And I probably will. But anyways, I instantly said that and this really got warm in my hand. Like, all right, I guess I put that out there. But let's say you wanting to get over an ex. You could use this to get over that person. I would recommend having a camera or a photo of that person or an object that you have that person owned or gave you. You will have it. Trust me, you will have it. So you would take that photo or that item and you would put this rune in it as to let go, to transform this love. Yeah. You didn't think you could do that with this one, but you can. You can. All right. I got a few more and then it will be time for me to get going. Okay, here we go. Can you see that one? Okay. I can see that one, so I'm hoping you can see it. If not, it kind of looks like a P. We would call that a P. So if you're attracted to this one, protection. Protection. Now, pay attention, okay? Because there's another one that looks almost like this. But if you see the top, how it's long up here, that's the difference from the other one. This is protection. Let me show you the other one real quick. You see how that one does not go up at top? That's joy. So, that's why you do not want to get them confused, okay? And like I said, I think there's a total of 3 that are pretty close and similar. So always make sure you know which one you are working with, okay? Because protection and joy, that's a completely different opposite thing. So, Protection. I mean, this is pretty basic. What would the Vikings do? Of course, this is another symbol that they would carve and they would put into like their axes, their swords when they're going into battle. They would actually have these carved in to their swords and their weapons and their armor for protection to keep them safe. So that is what you would see on some of their symbols. And to be honest, when I was in the past lives in my area, when I looked, I could actually see swords there and stuff. And I was just literally working, and that's what I did. I put runes on whatever object that the person wanted me to put on. That was my job, and I loved it. It's yeah, I've never had a very loving past life come up like that, but yes. So this rock chose it because you can literally kind of put your hand and it feels like a mountain. And I thought that was really interesting because a mountain of protection. I thought that was really neat. Like as I was holding it, like, wow, it's like a mountain of protection around me. Right. So this is something you can easily do to put the protection around you, right? And go all the way down to your feet and go back up. And you can literally, you just put a protection around you. You can also, they used it protecting their house, of course. Women would be by themselves. So they are very strong on putting this symbol throughout their house, throughout the outside of their house. They were doing whatever they could to keep their family safe. You could do the same. If you're someone who travels, if you're someone who goes on a lot of business trips and you just want more safety, you can use this symbol. You can use this symbol on anything, okay? With the intention of protecting. The intention is key here. Anyone can sit here and put symbols on rocks, but your intention and knowing what you're doing while you're doing it is the key to this. Yeah, you could also put it in your car. Who wouldn't want some protection in the car? Okay, now let's just go with joy, right? This one. Joy is pretty, self-explanatory. But what would you do for this rock? This is interesting because this rock, it feels like it weighs nothing. When I picked up this rock before I put joy on it, it was heavier than this. This actually doesn't feel like a rock anymore, which is really neat to feel that. But yeah, so joy. I mean, I started laughing just holding that. Like that's because I'm like, where's the weight to my rock? Okay. So does its own thing. But this one, I just like feel like literally I just like holding it. I just yeah, it just like it lights my whole body up doing this. I can feel it. It tingles my feet and everything. Um so I would definitely say like this would be one because it seems to be lightweight that I would put in my purse. I would carry this one. Or I would put it in my car where I could see it. And if I'm feeling real off, I would go and pick it up and just hold it. Okay. Joy. If you're wanting joy for somebody else, you can always put it on a photo or item of that person to send them joy. It's endless what you can do with these. Endless. All right. If you are connected to this one, success. Success. That is your path. Success. Well, that's pretty self-explanatory, isn't it? First, when you hold this, you have to know you can't just say success in everything, because it will, but it will take more time. You want to go in with an intention of what success do you want this rune to help you with? Success looking for a job, success looking for an apartment, success looking for a house. So let's say house, because that came up very strong when I said it. I would put this rock on a note that I would write. I would write, please help me look for the perfect home and the perfect location for me. And I would put this rock in it. I would actually put the rock in it and put the paper around it. I would rubber band it together. I would leave it there probably 5 to 7 days. And then I would take it and I would burn it. Don't know why that's coming, but it's coming. So I just send out the messages. Success with making more money. Money. Yeah, money's always a big thing, isn't it? But it's only when we make it big. Remember that. It doesn't have to be big. So let's say you want more money, right? Everything in economy, everything's showing that there's not enough money, but that's just an illusion. There's always abundance of money around everybody. So you just have to know your self-worth and believe that you have it. That's the big one here. So since that's the big one, your success would be belief in yourself that you can make more money doing what you want to do. That's a good one. Yeah. That actually gave me an idea. So I will probably play around with this symbol and do some writing and use this symbol. I'm like, that gave me a really good idea. Thanks, guides. All right. So we are down to one last one. This is almost the whole rune. There is one that there's 3 that I'm missing, but only one I actually wrote on a rock. The other 2 are more, you would say, like life-changing events. So I didn't want to put those out yet. So I haven't created those yet. This guy's little. So if you're drawn to this, prosperity. Prosperity. And everything. So, perfect example. Combining these 2, wealth and prosperity, together would be really powerful. So you can put that on top, and then have the paper or whatever that you're wanting, the wealth, like money, go back to the money. So let's say you go get $100 bill out of the bank, right? Trust that you can get that out of the bank. That's the very first one. Do you trust that that money will come back to you? All right. So $100 bill is my hand. I know I'm worth $100 this hand alone. That's probably cheap. All right. So then you're going to put wealth. Let me flip it. Wealth, prosperity on top of the $100 bill. And right when I put both of those in there, wow, the power, it just multiplied. Yeah. Wow. Okay. So can you link them together? Yes, you can. Does it make it more powerful? Yes, it does. I have one example here. One rock, the other 2 are outside, that I chose destiny, prosperity, and home. Oh yeah, that's home. That's a symbol I didn't show you either. But yes, home. So this isn't all the symbols, but it's pretty close. I think there's probably about 4 or 5 missing here. But there you go. Destiny, prosperity, and home. Why did I put these 3 on one rock? Because they were guiding me to put it on the rock. So therefore, I took one rock and gave it 3 different runes and the power of them. This baby alone is vibing in my hand. It's tingling this whole hand. Home, that's where you're at. That's where you feel comfortable. It doesn't necessarily mean a physical home. It's where you feel at home. Prosperity, we just talked about it. That's everything. Destiny. What is your destiny? Some people don't actually believe that that's even a rune because that came way later. The story about the destiny, the square, is a guy got a pack of rune rocks or rune crystals, actually. And there was a blank one in there on well of the other ones. And I want to say there's 32 symbols, but don't hold me to that one. I should know that. But so he had an extra one, so he called it Destiny. So this one came way later. I do believe in the early 1900s. This one was added. Now, when I in tune to this, I strongly feel that this one is Destiny, that it came in time. So back in the Viking time, they were not using this symbol. It was not part of the runes. Real quick, how can you do a reading with this, with these rocks? Simple. You would flip all rocks this way, right? All of them flat so you can't see them. And then you would ask the person that you're doing the reading with to pick. You wouldn't pick it because you know what all the runes symbols are on all rocks. That's kind of like you would know. You allow the person that's never seen them to pick them up, and then you would help them with whatever problem or whatever's coming. So just like if I was doing a tarot card reading with you, if you sat here and I flipped them over and you had no clue what symbols, which you probably don't remember all these symbols, to me, they're very drawn into my mind. So I would allow you to pick it. And that's how we would do the reading. I would say, hey, focus on the question that you want to ask the runes. And then we would pick 3 or whatever feels right. And then that is how you do a reading with runes. Now, of course, with rune crystals, you could do that remotely because they look pretty close to similar. So what I created with the runes rocks is literally the reading would be the person, not me. It would be you picking them. So if you are interested, like I said, I will be at that flea market in Catalog this Sunday. Get there 9-ish. So don't get there at 9 because I'm not going to be there. And you can come and play with these and just get a feel of, do they work with you? Do you get anything from it and all that good stuff? So thanks for watching, and I have to get going so I can go work. So thanks for watching. Hopefully this helped you get you more of a feel of what these are. They are extremely powerful. I just linked into past life every time. I just literally go with it. So I feel very comfortable with the information that comes to as I'm just picking it up. All right. See you later. Bye.